Good morning. A little bit of an update on what's going on in the garden. This is the tea hibiscus. It is the middle of August. It's actually August 18th. There are no flowers yet, so I'm not sure whether that is actually going to flower this year. I hope it does. This is the melon patch. This is musk melons, cantaloupes, and and honeydew and all that stuff. It's all mixed in. I'm just letting it cross-pollinate and do its own thing, and then I'll keep the seeds for next year. And as with everything, hopefully next year or the year after I will have a variety that actually does well here. This variety, it's supposed to be a mixed group, but I'm not sure whether it's mixed or not. This one has been the strongest. It's been the most prolific. It's probably got a dozen, half a dozen to a dozen on it right now. I've picked 3. The skunks love it. Skunks or whatever it is that's tearing through here. So the majority of this here along this line is one vine, and that thrived. All I did was poke holes in the ground and walk away. I've done a little bit of weeding this summer. I will probably be doing more weeding next year. It's becoming necessary in this dry garden or in this wood chip area. But as I've said before, the area underneath, or the soil underneath, is almost straight clay. We now have several patches of what turned out to be a wild cucumber. Hold on. So we have several patches of what turned out to be a wild cucumber. I'm not seeing any fruit on that one yet. There's another patch right here. I'm not sure exactly what conditions it needs in order to fruit, because what it seems to be doing is coming up and fruiting underneath other plants. Let's see if I can find any of those in the picture anyway. I can see several. Let's see if I can get in a little closer. All right, let's pull this. Oh, there's one right there that I can actually reach. Okay, so that is what the immature fruit looks like. Okay, and it will turn black when it's ripe. We've got a bunch of patches of that, but it seems to mostly prefer growing under and around other plants. So these are the melons that I planted at the beginning of August, and they're doing great. They've got blossoms on them. I'm seeing female blossoms, so it's possible that we will get a fall crop. Not sure yet, but possible. Excuse me. This is our marshmallow, which is one of 3, which is blooming and fruiting, or seeding, which is great. Okay, I planted some moscata squashes to see if they would survive in the fall garden. These are I don't remember what I was thinking of saying. Anyway, these, again, were planted end of July, beginning of August. I don't see, this is the biggest one so far, and I don't see any flowers yet, but hopefully we'll see. This is my first year with a real garden, so it's, oh, I'm stepping on one. So it's a test. All of this is tests. I also planted some more corn early August, late July, and it got hit by armyworms. This appears to be recovering. And planted some more beans for a fall crop. Now, these, I probably will use the beans here rather than keeping them for seed because I have the spring planted section. This is licorice. I'll show you another licorice plant over here. This is another licorice plant. There are 2 or 3 more in here, but they're in other areas of the garden. So this is all the melons. Planting melons, doing fun stuff. Our lone surviving pepper. This is another licorice plant. There's another one buried in the weeds over there, but I do know it's there. Let's see if, yep, it looks like the seeds are, can't get it off. I'll have to get some scissors. There's one right here. That one's not quite ready. This one's not quite ready. Looks like this one's ready, but it is seeding. This is its 2nd year, so it made it through last winter. Okay, cucumbers. That cucumber plant, the fruit is slightly bitter, so I don't want to encourage that, so I'm not keeping any seeds from that one. I am keeping seeds from a lot of these. Again, there's a grapevine in there. Again, it was just a matter of poking them in the ground and walking away. They haven't gotten any extra water from me. They haven't gotten any fertilizer. They haven't gotten anything. Just what they want to do is what they want to do. There is another grapevine with a cucumber actually growing up through it. That's funny. Okay, so then this is the rest of the cucumbers. There is a strawberry back in that corner. My goodness. Okay, so all of this is cucumbers. You can see a bunch of, I don't know if you can see right here, you can see a yellow edge, just a paler green. I am allowing a lot of these cucumbers to just develop for seed. These will mostly be mixed varieties, and that's what I want. I want what can grow the best here. So I want a lot of genetic variety so that it has the opportunity to pick and choose what will be the best. So there is a cucumber right here, and there's a spider on it, so I'll get that later. From this point, pretty much anything that I find, I've tasted all of these plants, or tasted a cucumber from each of these plants, and at least one on each plant is going to seed. So from this point, everything that I harvest, or everything that I see, is going to get harvested. So let's see if spider is gone. Oh no, he just moved over to the other side. Okay, let us move on. There's so much going on in here. That one is catnip. And one single clary sage plant has survived the summer. I hope it survives the winter. We shall see. Okay, sweet potatoes, fixing the soil. That's an apricot. There's an apricot over there. There's an apricot in that sunflower patch. There should be, somewhere back here, there should be a 4th apricot. Look. You see him? Not the apricot, it's the dragonfly. Got a number of different kinds of dragonflies. Yeah, but somewhere in here there should be another apricot. And I kind of let the weeds get out of control. So I've got to do some serious work this fall and winter. Okay. All right. So, which way? Which way? Which way? Okay. So this is the corn patch, and the majority of the corn is done. This is sweet corn. There are corn cobs. That over there in the middle, that's the biggest one. I'm hoping that it survives to maturity. Right now it is just surviving. I've got beans in here. Most of them didn't produce, which tells me that they are not the best for this type of gardening. Again, more corn, more corn, more corn. I don't think anything pulled these plants down. I think the wind did. But we will keep the seeds, plant again next year. And so, what is next? We've talked about licorice, we've talked about creeping cucumber. We've talked about melons. Let's see what else we've got back here. Like I said, I let the weeds get out of control. So, okay, we've had a minor problem with hornworms. I think I've got the last of those. There is a little pepper plant down there, but I haven't seen any blossoms on it yet. This tomato over here has one tomato way down there off Navy property. And don't think this one has any fruit yet. This one doesn't have any fruit yet. This one's got one little tiny tomato right there, but I don't think it's going to grow because it's been punctured by, looks like a lot of worms. Got a lot of holes in it. Nothing there. Nothing there. There was one that I saw earlier. Okay, this is another fall started cucumber. This is the Roma type. There are 3 plants here that are aroma type. I've seen blossoms on this one, but I haven't seen any fruit. There is one tomato in there. There are a few fruits on that one over there. All right, now, let's see what we got. All right, so this is green beans. Green beans, these will all be kept for seed. I want them to mix. There's at least three varieties in here. Chances are good that they won't mix, but I want the best survivors. I've just, again, it was just a matter of sticking things in the ground and hoping they came up. But you can see the difference between this plant and this plant. They're very different forms. And this one, where is it? Some of them are very small. Some are large. Some have not produced anything. And that tells me, again, that those particular plants don't want to thrive here. So I don't want their genes. If they're going to die, I want to let them die. Okay, so now we're out into the dry garden. And this is where it actually gets interesting, because I overestimated the amount of work that the dry garden was going to be. So even with focusing on the dry garden, I was not able to maintain it. So I planted 24 tomatoes in here, and we have 3 pseudo survivors. That one I'm hoping will pop back. Let's see, where is it? This right here. I accidentally clipped that one off when I was messing with the grass. This one, can I get it? Where is it? It's up here. There it is. Okay. And this one has one fruit on it. And as you can see, it's a yellow cherry type, which is not necessarily what I wanted, and I didn't think I had planted any yellow cherries, but that is what survived. So, next year, I'm going to be doing this a little differently, and I'm trying to decide, trying to figure out what's the best way to handle a garden in this area, because I do want to continue to do the dry garden, but with the amount of grass that's in here, I had it tilled once and the grass just popped right back. I can see why people till every time, but it's not feasible. So in here we have a chia plant going to seed. I'm keeping an eye on that one because the chia that I planted is day length sensitive. So all of this chia in here should start blooming around October, just in time for the frost. All of this row right here is chia. None of the sesame that I planted came up. None of the quinoa that I planted came up. So I'm going to be doing those differently next year.